It'd be horrible.
While this gets going, let's open up our agenda. Yay! So today we are wrapping up our Calendar of Life presentations. Everyone kind of decided to do the Calendar of Life in their own unique way. We took some time as a group to inspire each other and to help each other along that process. Oh, the other person that's not here is Julian, and Julian also just found the course to be a bit too much right now. So our class is small, but you guys that are all here are pretty on top of your work. So I'm confident that everyone that's here will be able to stay here till the end of the session. So that's good news. But yeah, so this is a little wrap up of our sort of understanding of evolution and how things have progressed over time from the Big Bang, the creation of this place that we know as planet Earth, all the way to this moment in present time. So what I wanted to do today is take the whole class to look at what each of you has done so far. And if you aren't 100% complete, that's okay. Just be honest with us, let us know what you're still working on and when you'll have it done by. And a few of you have reached out to me, and that's fine. I know it's kind of a bigger project. But I do want to take about, I said 5 minutes. It's okay if it's a little bit longer, a little bit shorter, where you guys can actually share what you've done. And the little rubric that we'll be looking at is the different categories. So prepared is one, that you kind of have an idea of what you want to share with us. Complete is one, but remember that if you're honest about the fact of why you don't have things done for today and when you'll have it done by, we won't dock you a crazy amount of marks for that. The other three are creative, sharing your key learning, something that might be new to us, and that's going to be easy for this project, and that you're organized in your presentation of your information. So for this little bit today, I did want to I'll do mentor assessment, but I'm really wanting to do the peer assessment and self-assessment again as well. So you guys can all start off by opening up a Google document. And you can see, and then Olivia and Anna, you guys can write your names and the attendance for today's meeting. That would be great. And the action for today's meeting you guys can see that I've actually pasted the rubric there. So you can just copy this and paste this in your Google document. You can do it 5 because there are 4 other peers in the room, and then you'll do a self-evaluation for yourself. So I'll give you a moment to kind of get organized on the back end of things first. And then let me know once you guys are feeling good with that doc. Got some dogs going crazy over here. You guys hear that?
Yeah.
Oh, the sounds of. Now I'm back in Costa Rica. Sounds of Costa Rica. Okay, you guys got that ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So I am thinking of a number between 1 and 100. Whoever hits it closest gets to go first. So type your answer in the group chat box.
In the group chat box.
Okay. I was gonna say 57. Whoa, that's so weird. Okay.
Whoa.
Loading.
Whoa.
Anna can't pass
Wait, Anna,
two.
take-
Gee, Anna.
Look at that too. I'm pretty like opposite spectrums too. She's trying to play it safe. What do we do with that information, Anna? Get rid of which one?
Which one? 12.
Get rid of.
Get rid of 12. She wants
Okay.
57.
Okay, get rid of 12. We've got 57. Okay, Bryn, Ashay, Anna, Olivia, Helena. Perfect. The number was 77, so Ashay is going first.
Okay, I can do that.
All right, so go ahead and share your screen with us, hon.
No, I'm not sharing my screen because I don't have anything to share on my screen.
Mm.
I have a hand
Oh yeah, you're gonna do.
thing. This.
Okay, so
thing.
everyone, make sure you click on
that thing.
Ashay's name. Yeah.
So this is
Okay.
this is my calendar.
Cosmic calendar. Oh my gosh.
My pretty little bows on it because I had to be artistic. The Big Bang. So I just did
Whoa,
a
sweet.
big picture for everyone. My sister was looking at it. She's like, "So many of these months are so boring." I just got pretty pictures of stars. So there's more stars.
Oh, I love that.
And Milky Way galaxy was formed in March. And then April's very boring. May is also boring. I like this stars picture. It's really pretty.
Oh wow, that was amazing.
I kind of had too much fun finding them. Halima and I were just kind of hanging out, looking for pictures of stars. It got me really excited because my grandma is crazy about the universe and stars and galaxies and things, and we used to do stuff with her all the time.
It would be a really neat. I'm like envisioning some beautiful like paintings based off of like maybe like a cool series, eh? Or do like
Yeah.
some watercolors based
Yeah.
off of like the skies.
For sure. And then August's a little more exciting. Solar system was formed.
Mm.
Yes. And then first life in September.
Yes.
My mom was like, "There's cheese puffs in September?" I was like, "No, look at the text below the image." And then cells with a nucleus. That one's pretty.
That's gorgeous.
And then this is where I started doing my little drawing. So I have first photosynthesis and beginning of plate tectonics.
Sweet.
and first breathable air.
Cuteness.
Yeah. And then this one's pretty too. First multicellular life.
Oh yeah, huge.
And then there was this really cool fossil that I kept finding pictures of when I was looking at multicellular life. So I tried to recreate it. And it was like double-sided. And one side was all golden shiny and the other side wasn't. That was my artistic representation. Snowball Earth. This is December. December gets exciting.
Yes.
So in December, I have frozen Earth from here to here. And then I have first land plants, being algae. And then, or fungi, sorry. And then that crazy bug that you found, Halima. This thing that I drew to the best of my ability. And then reptilian evolution, Pangea forms, first mammals. There's these like rat-looking things that were like some of the first mammals. Pangea split, first birds and first flowers, first grasses, death of the dinosaurs. Something that was very exciting to me. I said to Halima, I said, pick a random animal, and she said horses. And so I was looking up where the first horses were. And this is my exciting thing, my key learning, I guess you could say. When I was littler, I was obsessed with horses, and I would look through all of these horse books. And then I was looking up, and I was like, hey, wait a minute, I know about this thing. And I used to love looking back at like the evolution of horses things in my book. And so I got to draw the oldest horse. It's like the size of a dog, but you can't tell in that picture.
What?
So that was my exciting like relation to my childhood.
And your previous interests.
This is December 31st. I did a whole day for December 31st, or a whole month for December 31st.
Wow.
And I have fire, domestication of fire, and then all of the human evolution is down here at the bottom of December 31st. Involving first hominids, first stone tools, Homo erectus evolves, domestication of fire, and then Neanderthals, and Homo sapiens. And then I have sculpture and painting at 11:58 p.m. and agriculture at 11:59:32 p.m.
Wow.
Precise.
Yep. Very precise.
Precise and so recent.
Yeah.
So recent too. Yeah, exactly. So that's my
Oh, that's
calendar.
amazing. Nice, Ashay. Oh my gosh.
And I only used 4 things for my little things that I printed off. I drew everything. It was a lot of drawing. But it was fun to try and recreate like microscopic stuff.
Yeah, I wasn't sure how these were going to turn out. That turned out really, really nice for you. Great work.
Yeah.
Yay. Do you guys have any questions for Ashay?
No,
Good
just
job.
draw all the little drawings.
Yeah.
Yeah, the little
I was
drawings are
really
super
doodling
cute.
it. I wasn't like, I tried, but I'm not good at art. So.
Okay, well, let's take a moment and just do a quick little throwdown of some numbers. I think that the peer assessment and self-assessment are so key. And we've already done this before, so you guys, it won't take you very long to just go through. And it's confidential, so it's shared with me, obviously, as your mentor, but I do not share this or give this out to your peers, so they don't know who gave what. So throw those in there, and then I'll give you about a minute to do that. And you'll just keep it all on one document. Once we're done these presentations today, you'll just invite me into that document for the sharing settings. So it's really easy to share that. So once you're done with that, Halima was 58, so she had the next closest to 77.
Okay.
So she
Some
could
words
start.
are hard to pronounce,
Start getting
so I'll try my best.
All right.
I'll share my screen. Let me know if you can see it.
Yep.
Okay.
And we can see us.
There we go.
There we go.
Should I start?
Yep, I think so.
Okay.
Everyone ready?
There we go.
Yes.
This is my
Awesome.
calendar of life. The Big Bang. January 1st was the Big Bang. As you can see, my doodling is not the best. And then there was darkness for about a week until the stars started bursting into light. And then these same stars turned into the first galaxies on January 13th. Next is February, and here's a pretty picture of space.
Oh, beautiful.
And then there's March, and on March 15th, our Milky Way was formed. And nothing happened in April or June. Wait, May. Yeah, the Milky Way fin just forms on the 12th of May. Looks like that.
Oh,
That's what I've been
this
saying
is
about the
information?
Yeah.
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 Cool.
And then here's a really pretty
Whoa.
picture. I know. I'm not sure if that's like real, because it looks really pretty.
What's the picture of? Was there a description for it?
I just said like space. I just put in Google cool space pictures and it gave me like that.
I mean, it could be real. I showed you the butterfly. The
Oh
cosmic
yeah, I
butterfly.
put that on here because I like that idea. Right here, see?
This one.
Shay showed
Oh
me
my god.
this butterfly nebula, and I'm like, wow, I need that. Really pretty. And
Oh, that's
July
awesome. Who has a bit of a description of what a nebula is?
a nebula. Isn't it like a whole bunch of like particles and dust clouds?
Yeah, exactly. It's a cloud of dust, and there's all sorts of different elements as well that are in there. So probably lots of like hydrogen and helium and other elements that are in their gaseous state, right? And but it's something that's quite beautiful to photograph. So we always see these like really beautiful pictures of space, but often they're nebula when you can see the colors and there's some sort of shape to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
here's the sun, because in August, our sun was born on the 31st. And then I drew that and tried.
Oh, nice.
September.
That's a great shot.
Okay. So, I'm not going to try to pronounce this, but Koshin Eon.
Glacian?
It's the era, Koshin. It's the era that, in this era, the formation of the solar system started and Earth was formed. And then there was a mineral evolution, which is really complicated to explain. And then the next era was the Hayden Eon era, and this is when the Earth was dealing with a lot of comets, asteroids, and other debris. And the Earth got struck with like a Mars-sized figure, which pulverized both and became the first current Earth-Moon binary. And then when the Earth cooled, it outgassed the first atmosphere and oceans. So that's what kind of happened with this era. And there was a lot of volcanic activity and the formation of the first crust. And the oldest rocks are Nona from here as well. And then tidal friction caused the moon to move. And then there was the next era, Archean Eon era. This was when microbial life thrived in the primordial oceans, and the continental shields were made from volcanic activity. And the blue-green algae produced oxygen down here. Produced oxygen as a metabolic byproduct. That and the eventual buildup of this highly reactive gas to prove fatal to life forms and converted the atmosphere. And then Snowball Earth. First photosynthesis was on the 2nd of October. And then the Proterozoic Eon era. And this was when the continental drift began and the supercontinent of Rodinia was formed. And then there was a lot of ice ages. And this is also the time when Snowball Earth was. And the ice was several kilometers deep, covering our world. And then the Great Oxidation Event. Rising oxygen levels in the atmosphere due to the development of photosynthesis. And there's Halloween. Here's a cool picture. Where life started responding to its environment on the 9th of November. So eating, drinking, breathing. December. First multicellular life formed on the 5th of December. And then this era. Okay, so this is
the one that we all know the most. Like that was probably the name that you heard and you're like, oh yeah, I've heard that before, right?
yeah,
So Paleozoic.
Paleozoic. The oxygen in the atmosphere reached the level that it is now, and this generated the ozone shield that keeps us safe from ultraviolet radiation and allows life to live on land. And lots of things came into existence here, including invertebrates of fish, of tetrapods, and reptiles. And the continents clustered to form Pangaea. And this was all brought an end. This era stopped in the end Permian mass extinction. But this is kind of my key learning. I didn't know that what the first animal to go into land looked like, but it kind of looks like an alligator fish thing. Tried drawing it.
Yeah, the tetrapods, exactly.
Yeah. And the Cambrian explosion was on the 16th, where all these animals and stuff just exploded. Well, they didn't explode, but there was a lot of them everywhere, so it was like an explosion. Then there was the first plants, and then there was a whole bunch of extinctions. The first extinction was, according to fossil records, 60% of all terrestrial and marine life worldwide were exterminated, which is really sad. And then there was the reptilian evolution, and then the next extinction was 360 million years ago. And this environment nurtured a lot of reefs for at least like 13 million years, but it turned hostile and the world plunged into the second mass extinction event. Then Pangaea formed. And then another extinction came, which was the Permian mass extinction. And this was a really big one, and 80 to 95% of marine species went extinct, and reefs didn't reappear for about 10 million years, and it's the greatest hiatus in reef building in Earth's history. And then the end Triassic mass extinction is guessed to have killed about half of marine invertebrates, and 80% of land quadrupeds also went extinct, which are animals with 4 feet, I learned. And then dinosaurs, insects, forests, birds all evolved this final week. So all these, and the first flower bloomed 125 million years ago.
Oh no.
So I drew it, and yeah, it looks like a little burnt people with flowers.
Oh, you drew that one?
Yeah,
Nice.
I drew like everything, I think.
Oh my gosh, these are so great. I can't wait to see it in more detail. While we're on the topic of extinctions, just to pose a question to the whole group, why do you guys think extinctions happen? Huge extinctions that have happened in Earth's history. What are some reasons for that?
Maybe.
Put my thinker on, Sarah. Gee.
Right? I know.
Maybe like the Earth's atmosphere kept changing or something, and the Earth couldn't handle it.
Yeah, so that's one reason is you can kind of put it in the category of environmental forces, right? So something is happening, whether like today it's, we start to look at global climate change, and that's sort of one of the big things that we see and we understand in our generation as what's causing a lot of different extinctions, right?
Yeah.
Climate is changing, things cannot survive. So that's a really big reason. Environmental forces in the form of climate change or overexploitation of species for human use or habitat fragmentation, so all sorts of things like that. But then there's a whole other sort of category, and this is more seen more in like historical extinctions. What do you guys think? If you can start to think of some other reasons why species would die off.
Well, evolution. Maybe a predator developed for it. So stuff could
100%.
kill each other off.
Yeah, evolutionary changes in the species members. You nailed it, Bryn. So so something the predator formed that started deteriorating the population of the species. What are some other things that could predict decline in a species numbers?
It could just evolve into something else too.
Yeah, it could just evolve into something else, and the other form of what it was no longer needed.
Yep.
What are some other things?
I don't know.
Lack of
Oh my
its
God.
living resources. Like if its food started dying off, then it would die off too.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Poor ability to reproduce, right? So maybe there's like genetic inbreeding happening. Maybe there's some sort of environmental factor that's affecting the reproduction of the species. So yeah, so many different things. But then there's also, I think maybe the third would be like unforeseen circumstances, like huge crazy asteroids, just coming in. Like this is like, we're talking like really early history, right? Why did the dinosaurs go extinct? Who has that answer?
An asteroid?
Yeah, it was near like a giant asteroid.
Yeah. So that's well, there's lots of different theories as to why it happened, but yeah, the giant asteroid's the one that we all kind of remember, and the one the only real one that I understand as being the most accurate. But yeah, so I thought that was kind of a good little segue because we haven't really talked about why extinction happens, and I like to pull that in. So sorry to interrupt your presentation for a moment for a little learning, but I like that you focused on the extinctions because that's obviously quite a big part of Earth's evolution. Okay, so we did the first flower, and you drew that really cool picture of the oldest flower found. Nice.
So the next thing was the KT event, which killed all the dinosaurs that we know of. It killed almost all large land animals, tropical marine life was destroyed, and plants were affected as well. Then after all that, we came, primates came on December 31st. And here we'll get a lot more. 10:15 a.m. the apes appeared. At 2:24 p.m. Is it hominids? How do you say it? Hominids.
Hominids is how I pronounce it. Yeah.
The hominids came 10:24. It was like a gap in time, like a few hours. Like nothing happened. 10:24 p.m. Primitive humans and tools and stone tools began. 11:44 p.m. was the domestication of fire. 11:52 p.m. was the anatomically modern humans. 11:55 p.m. was the glacial period. 11:58 p.m. was the sculpture and painting started. And then 11:59:32 agriculture began. In the last second, 11:59:59, there was modern science and technology, American Revolution, French Revolution, World War I, World War II, and Apollo remodeling. So like after all that, here's us. We're here.
Wow.
And that's it. The end.
Very cool. Any questions for Halima?
Just good job on the drawing again. It all looked like
Yeah.
it's just what it looked like.
I never drew so much in my life.
Really?
Yeah.
How big were your drawings? Like,
They're really tiny, like they're just like a tiny bit on my paper. But
Oh,
I
nice.
zoomed
Yeah.
in on my camera.
perfect. So fun.
I'm still
Okay,
reading.
so let's just take.
I wrote notes.
What were you gonna say, hun?
I wrote notes in case I forgot some information.
That's good. There's also nice snippets of information there for us. Let's take a few moments here and do a little quick write-up or a quick number scheme on your evaluation for Halima. And Halima do a self-evaluation as well.
Okay.
And while you guys finish that up, Anna had 57, so she'll be the next presenter to go.
Is it too loud when I talk and I put my mic on, or is it okay?
Oh, not at all.
Okay, people might start talking because I'm in the Starbucks. So,
It's okay.
okay, so I did not finish. I made my calendar, like the calendar itself, but then I was
Sweet.
nowhere that I was able to actually print it out, so I couldn't do any work on it till yesterday. So this is what I've done, or a bit, I think 2 days ago. So this is what I've done.
Perfect.
And I have, when the calendar itself was done, I have poster board that I've made into like a book, so there are different colors, and I'm putting it on that. And it's like,
Oh, beautiful. Wow.
but it's all different colors inside, and yeah. So that's where it's going when it's done. Okay. So January 1st, I have the Big Bang, and then I haven't done anything till September 1st. So then September 1st, I can't see, there we go. The sun and the moon were created, and then there were planets, and then there's the oldest rock. But I realized that I drew grass there, but grass doesn't like actually exist for like another 2 months.
Wow.
There's the first life, and I think that's everything. No, yes, that's everything. It's hard to read upside down or backwards. And then photosynthesis on October 12th. I also realized that it wouldn't be a land plant because land plants weren't like a thing yet, but I also realized that after I drew it, so I might change it.
It's all right. It's good that you're noticing while you're telling us.
November, I think that's 6th. November 6th. 8th. Okay, thank you. Was more complex life, so more than one cell. And then in December,
Oh, wow. Look at your images.
It's so pretty.
there's the big tree.
It is your
So I didn't know what to
colors.
draw, so I just like left it white. So I thought that'd like.
Yeah.
And then there are land plants, insects, amphibians. I need to write reptiles there. And then Pangea, mammals, birds, flowers, grasses, and then the dinosaurs were extinct. So it's a really sad looking dinosaur, and it's crying.
What kind is that? Stegosaurus?
Yeah.
No.
No, it's
Yeah.
facing on the. Hold on, I have it. And that's everything. So that's everything that I've done so far. So I need to draw 5 more pictures and then get the 12 images. And I have ideas for all of them. I just need to actually print them out because I don't have a printer.
Yeah.
So that's more of like I need to find time to be able to go to the library and print them out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, well, so what was your key learning so far then?
I hadn't, like, I knew somewhat when things like evolved, but to actually be able to put it into place, being like flowers after plants, but grasses like after flowers, and just like the actual when things evolved in a time frame was really interesting for me to look at, because I never had actually like stepped back and looked at something like that before. So it was really fun.
Yeah.
So I think just the whole process of doing it myself and everything was really, I think, a big learning experience for me.
That's awesome.
And I also
And one of the
never
reasons-
really draw. So
Oh yeah, similar to Halima. It's like, wow, that's the most you guys have drawn in a long time.
yeah.
That's great. That's fun. I really like with the workshop courses, I think it's important for us to be able to involve different subject areas into one, you know, like, yeah, it's biology 11, but like, I think one of the most realistic things in education is understanding that, like, when you're learning out in the real world, you're never just learning one thing at a time, right? You can't clump it into, oh, this is a science moment or this is an art moment. I think that the beauty is that, like, when things weave around each other. So that's what we try to do in these workshop courses, is to say, okay, let's bring in, like, you know, math to different projects in science and geography and humanities and languages and all of these topics into one when possible. As a nice awakening for you. And what's the second thing I was going to say to that? Might have been it. But yeah, it was a really, really nice start there, Anna. It looks like you've got quite a good idea of where you're headed as well. Oh, what I was going to say is one of the reasons why we have this project in here as well is that it's a way for you each to just when I learned about evolution, it was reading it from a textbook and highlighting it, and it never really stuck with me until then later on I did this project. And when I did this project, it was a way for me to personalize my own understanding of evolution and what I had read and put it down in my own way. And since then, I've often referred back to it when talking to people about, you know, when different things formed, because we all resonate with the idea of a calendar year. So, you know, you can tell people, if you imagine, you know, that, you know, January 1st is the Big Bang and December 31st is today, this far along is when these things started to happen. And it gives people such a good perspective, rather than saying, you know, X number of million years ago, or in this era, and words that people don't really resonate with. So it's a cool way for you as biologists now to be able to educate others in a very inclusive manner.
Yeah, it's a really good way to sort of grasp the concepts without it being totally out of your perspective.
Yeah, exactly.
I just find it amazing that, like, our galaxy was formed, like, in the 3rd month of the year, and we only came in the last few seconds of the year. So it's like so much time.
Yeah, brings so much perspective. Amazing.
For sure.
So nice work, Anna. Thank you for sharing that. I can't wait to see your final product, especially with the colors. It seems like you really stuck to colors in yours, and with the Bristol
it's
border
really
that
beautiful.
you chose. It is really beautiful.
Thank you.
So take a moment and do your self-evaluation, Anna, and if everyone else could just go through and plug in some numbers for her for that one. And then Olivia, I did mention to you before the meeting that you could go last, although your number is second last. Are you happy going now?
Yeah, it's all good. Just
Okay.
give me a sec to.
Yeah, you've got some time. I'm just gonna go fill up my water bottle while you guys finish that evaluation really quickly. Okay, Olivia, you're almost ready over there?
Yep.
Okay.
Perfect. Did you want to share your screen, or you can just turn your video on as well if you want?
Share screen. Pretty sure I saved that. Just let me save something. Oh, okay. All right. So I'm not done either, partly due to printing problems, and I should kind of say I think I totally missed the point of cosmic calendars because I was just kind of focusing on the evolution of fish and stuff. Do general knowledge now of every other evolving thing and mass extinctions and whatnot, but so this is just going to be mostly about fish. So,
Okay.
and I put the calendar months to the different periods. Like I got this.
Oh, I see what you did. So you kind of stuck into
Like January is,
your calendar. It's like Yeah, you're like zoomed into one specific area.
yeah, like January is
Okay.
the Cambrian period, and then we have the Ordovician period, and then the Silurian, which is important for fish, and the Devonian period, which is actually called the Age of Fish. But yeah.
I like it already.
Okay, cool. This is awesome. It's nice. It's refreshing to see like, a totally different take too, though. So I think that it's gonna work out. Let's see what you got.
Okay, because I can
Yeah.
change it. I can add other stuff in later.
Yeah. Well, let's see sort of what it looks like right now in your presentation, and you can teach us a little bit about some of the specifics because we're all kind of getting a really generic idea right now. And then yeah, and then if I feel like there's things that we need to add to yours, we can chat about that afterwards.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
These are just notes I kind of had to put together for it, and it'll look different on a calendar. I'll probably shorten it a lot. But so this is
And what's that image?
that's a fossil. I forget what kind. It was an important fossil. But in the Cambrian period, it was kind of when most of the fossils were recorded here. It was actually previously thought to be like most the oldest fossils, but then they discovered more fossils in a period before then. But this is kind of when things started to happen for life. And so I'll just read off my notes. Many major animal groups first appear on fossil record here. And it's sometimes, well, this is a Cambrian explosion due to a lot of things very quickly evolved and came into existence in a short amount of time. Well, like 40 million years. The period itself lasted 53 million years. Many metazoan phylum made their first appearance in the Cambrian period. I think it just means animals or something. I forget what that means. The chordates, which are animals with a dorsal nerve cord, evolved during this period. Now chordates are stuff like fish, amphibians, birds, and tunicate. From what I can tell, they're like sea-dwelling things because it said sea sponges and stuff like that, or sea anemone or something. Hard-bodied branchiopods, which resemble clams, also evolved. So that's kind of the sea life, as much sea life as I could get from the Cambrian period, but it was more so a rock and fossilish time. A lot of rocks, kind of. Something happened to rocks then. The Ordovician period is a bit different. There's more kind of evolution of sea life, and it was kind of a tropically-ish period, but then the glaciers came and there was that huge, well, not huge, but there was a mass extinction. This lasted about 45 million years. Ocean life was starting to develop more. There was algae coming into the oceans, and
some kind of armored fish, which isn't around today. I think it's like completely gone, but you can still see fossils of that. Diverse marine invertebrates, including, I don't know what any of these are, but graptolites, trilobites, oh, I know what those are, branchiopods, and the conodonts. Much of the weather was warm and humid. Massive, well, yeah, that's what I said, okay. And, oh yeah, causing shallow seas drained and the sea levels dropped, which was also why things became extinct in the oceans. So the Silurian period, which was when a lot of things evolved, again, kind of like the other period, the ocean period, but a lot of things here evolved. It was kind of an important time for the fish. Fish did most of its evolving, marine life did most of its evolving and became more diverse during the Silurian and the Devonian periods. So sea levels started to rise again because the landmass was so low. And, first signs, there was the first signs that life was beginning to colonize the newest freshwater and terrestrial ecosystems. Western North America was mostly ocean at this time. It was under a shallow ocean, which means a lot of light was able to kind of hit it, which factored into why everything became so diverse quickly. Oh, and there was extensive coral reefs there, and the earliest fish known to have developed jaws came into this period. And that's all I have. I just started on that one.
Nice.
Okay, that's it.
Those images are really cool.
Really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a theme to all your images. Like you can see they all go together.
Well, that was a fish. I actually think that might be the jawed fish because there was a picture in the article I read that was more so about the jawed fish, although it was also about armored fish, but it was kind of about the first fish with a jaw, and it showed that picture, so I'm pretty sure that is what it was talking about.
Awesome. And what was like your biggest, you gave us lots of information, but what was like your key learning so far?
I'd say, well, I don't remember a lot of this, but I do remember that it was really interesting. Like, I saw this picture that showed, like, this tiny, tiny fish. Like, maybe I can find an example. No, not really. Okay, like, about the size of, like, a phone. It was that small, and it's, like, the first shark. I'm like, okay. Stuff like that. It's really interesting to see, like, how some things are just completely extinct. They're gone, and there's absolutely no remnants of them. And then other things, they're like almost direct descendants of this huge creature, this really weird looking creature, and how things developed and evolved during these time periods. They're really interesting, especially to see it like from a zoomed out perspective, because right now we're just looking at our own time period as just its own, like there's wolves and foxes and badgers, and we kind of get an idea of how they're all sort of connected, like the canine family and whatnot. But if like we zoomed out and looked at how these species are developing as a whole, it would be kind of cool to see, you know? It's like you can see what might be happening to the wolf, like, you know, 2-3 million, well not million, maybe 1,000 or 100,000 years later, like what they'll look like then, because you can kind of see how it worked, how things evolved a really long time ago. Anyway, that's it.
That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah, I know. I've seen like, I have books that I've been looking at or whatever, like pictures of the first crocodiles, and it's like, whoa, you get this total perspective, like, of just that's like the same, or just genetically modified along the way, but very similar thing as what we have now that we recognize.
You're reminding me that my neighbor just saw a crocodile today in the water.
Oh, cool.
But But there's all sorts of different ones here. There's really small little mini crocodiles, and they remind me so much of evolution when I think of, you know, like those water creatures. Like they almost look like tetrapods, right? Those like first guys that from fish grew those legs and started crawling out of the primordial soup onto land. So I always think of evolution when I see crocodiles. Picture here, I'm putting it in the agenda. Really nice, Olivia. This is related. Let's see here, insert image. While I'm putting this image in, for where Olivia could go with this, because she's focused in on fish. Do you guys think that that's working for her?
Yes, I'm interested to see how you're thinking that you're going to put it into a calendar. This is my thought. Because like when that first era that you have, how long ago was that?
Sec. Let me get my notes.
I think I'd just be really excited to have a fish calendar. I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I
too.
have it.
Yeah, exactly. But like, how can you put it in? Like, you take it from, you don't take it from the Big Bang because you'd have nothing for like 3/4 plus of your calendar.
Yeah,
So where do
I
you-
can find out how long ago it was. It was on my calendar, and I can't find my calendar in my computer, so I'm just going back to. There was this really cool website I found, which lists like all the geological periods, and you could just click on one, and it would tell you like everything about it. There's actually surprisingly a lot of information on this stuff. Where is it? Oh,
And make sure that you keep a good list of resources.
yeah, there we go. Okay, so the first period was like 542.0 to 488.3, and it says MYA. Is that like million years ago?
Million.
Yeah, it must be.
Yeah.
Just figured this out.
Yeah, so I wonder how you could like, I bet you could create a calendar instead of going from the Big Bang, go from first fish.
Yeah, I think that would be perfect.
Divide it up from
Go
there.
from
'Cause then
that
you
date as January 1st, and then today is December 31st. So she's just kind of a completely different calendar.
just like put it in a different spot. Yeah, just zoom in a bit and stick it in there again.
Yeah,
Totally do that.
I was like, I wasn't sure. I was kind of wondering, like, how are we calculating all of this? Like, why is it on like January 17th? Why is it specifically on that day? I was confused.
Well, because you were only in half of our meeting last time. Ashay, did you want to just describe how we figured out those dates?
Sure. Yeah, we just well, I looked up the numbers from Carl Sagan, but you can do it with math if you just divide the 13.8 by 12 so that you had, okay, this many billion years per month, and then figure them out to the day. So you can take that number for your, when the first fish were evolving or whatever, your first date that you're going to start with, and then take how long ago that was and divide it by 12 to fit it into your months.
So with 13, so it's whatever number divided by 12 then?
Yeah, you just divide it by 12, and then you have
Oh, sweet.
that many years per month, and then you can, it'll be more math because there isn't other people doing the same thing necessarily with fish, but you can figure it out totally. Add it all in there.
Cool. Yeah, I'll do that.
The other really interesting thing that you're really fascinated with fish, Olivia, is that our next lab is our fish dissection lab. So this is actually really cool, and why I kind of want you to continue rolling with this is that it's actually getting us all excited about where we're going next in this course. So
Cool. Thank you.
yeah,
I actually
so
really like I don't even know what period this is, but I swear to God, there's got to be like a period where everything is giant, because there's like giant guinea pigs and turtles and snakes and stuff. I love that period. That's kind of the most interesting thing for me. Anyway.
that's so neat. So why don't before we do the assessment portion in the notes, I just put in, because there was something where you said I'm not sure what the phylum is. or we're not sure what the phylum means. And I just wanted to remind you guys of this taxonomic rank that basically is relative to a group of organisms, and it's helping us to kind of give a hierarchy. So this is the order. So first you say what kingdom, so eukarya is a common domain, but we usually start at kingdom. So kingdom, what kingdom are the species in? And when we were learning about mushrooms, we were reminded that fungi are their own kingdom, which is really interesting. So one kingdom is Animalia, one kingdom is Plantae, another is fungi, right? So they're their own kingdom, which is what sets them apart. But then there's 3 other kingdoms, including protists or protista, archaea or archaebacteria, and then bacteria or eubacteria.
So
it kind of gets
6
smaller
of them.
and smaller. There's 6 kingdoms.
I thought you told us there was 5.
Then once you figure, well, some people say 5 because the last 2 are both bacteria, right?
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah. So they're just different stages, like more complex bacteria and then simple bacteria. So we do in grade 10 or grade 11 studies usually talk about 5, but if you want to get nitty gritty about it, which I kind of want to right now with you guys, you can divide it into 6. But once you've figured out which kingdom they're in, so for instance, if we're talking about, some sort of animal species, then okay, kingdom is Animalia, and then phylum, then you break it down even deeper. Okay, so in Animalia, then which phylum, and then which class.
What is a phylum? And can you tell me what a phylum is?
So these are just basically different rankings of dividing up the species. So it's just different divisions.
So like warm.
But so it depends on which kingdom. So why don't we just look up? It's kind of hard because it depends on which kingdom you're in. But like chordata, we heard that word earlier. That's a phylum. So the chordates, vertebrates and invertebrates would be phylum.
Okay,
so whether they have vertebral discs or no vertebral discs.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. Different classes are getting down to things like insects, mammals, reptiles, subclasses, and then orders. So like you just keep getting more and more and more specific till you get right down to the species name, right? And we learned that when we were doing all our plant dissections. So the Latin name would be species. That's the name of it. Okay. So this is a pretty important thing just to be aware of. And then in science circles, there's all sorts of different ways to memorize this. The kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. So I thought it might be kind of funny that right now we could see if we could even come up with our own acronym. The ones that I was taught are so weird, like King Philip can order 5 something suits. What was it?
The best one I've ever known is Kings play chess on fine-grained sand.
Kings play chess on fine-grained sand, right? They're all really weird. Yeah. Let's Google acronyms for this and see if we can find any more before we move on to the next person. Acronyms for taxonomic ranking. King Philip couldn't order 5 good sandwiches.
That's not bad.
It's not too
King
bad.
Philip came over for good sex. Oh goodness. Everybody likes King Philip though. It's always about him.
Kids playing chicken on freeways get smashed.
Wow.
Oh, that's the best one.
Kids playing.
It's funny. Whoa, there's a lot here.
King Paul cried out for good soup.
Keep paying cashiers obediently for good services.
That's good. Kings play chess on fine glass surfaces.
See, that one actually makes sense.
Kings play chess on fine gold sets.
Keep piling cookies on fat green saucers.
Kangaroos play cellos. Orangutans fiddle, gorillas sing. I like that. Just because it's so weird. And it has to do with music.
Whoa. All right. King Philip cried, "Oh, for goodness sake."
Keep pots clean or family gets sick.
Oh, that one's good. That's an easy one to remember. So there you go. Taxonomic ranking, mnemonic devices to help us remember how the order goes. Okay, let's take a minute or two. Olivia, do your self-evaluation. And everyone else go in and plug a few numbers in there for her. And once you've done that, Bryn will be our final presentation today. And because we got carried away between all of them, which I kind of wanted, I wanted to splatter little bits of information at you guys and you guys teach us. After Bryn, then we'll pretty much be done our class because it's already somehow 3:15. I've got some details about what our schedule is going to look like and what's to come. We'll cover all that after Bryn. All right. You guys ready?
Yes.
Looks like Brandon's gone off to maybe get a few supplies. All right, Brandon, take it away.
Okay. So I'm going to be sharing my screen because I didn't feel like doing what Shay did. It looked challenging. Come on. There we go. But I have to say that the pictures I was taking today were not ideal because I did not have good lighting at all. And so I am going to try to do this in a better way that I can present it so that you can actually read the small stuff. So that's going to come.
Oh, because these are pictures of, you actually did a manual calendar, right, on the car one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I did. So
Cool.
January is the big bang. It's just bang.
Nice, love it.
And February is nothing. And March is the Milky Way. So that's when that formed. April is nothing.
I really like that picture.
That's so beautiful.
I had fun finding cool stuff too. And May is, I think that's the Milky Way, but again, it's supposed to be nothing.
Well, but it's the galaxy disc too. So you got that one without
Yeah.
trying.
It's just space.
Mhm.
June is nothing,
Is it a TARDIS?
maybe. And July is nothing again. And in August, the
Oh,
solar
nice.
system forms.
Wow. Love that.
And then on Earth, on the 15th, I know you can't read that because that's just wasn't being cooperative. The first oceans formed on Earth on August 15th. So there's one thing in August. And then September, we have the first life, the first single-celled organism. And also in September, there was the beginning of plate tectonics. And yeah, I'll try to get it so people can actually see the little pictures
Sweet.
again. And October, nothing, just space.
Hmm.
And then November is the first multicellular life.
Oh yeah.
So I
Cool.
drew this one, and I drew the other single-celled life. I've got all this here. And so on November 1st, there were the first amphibians. And then first insects on the 3rd. And on the 6th, there were the first starfish. And the 7th is first vertebrates. So
The
apparently
first
this is the
starfish.
first-
I love that you added those.
Yeah. This is the first thing that has a backbone, apparently, which I didn't know. And then the first worms on the 8th. And first fish on the 9th. And then the Cambrian explosion, which had this little thing. And then, I'm not sure if my math is correct, but then I got the first multicellular plants on the 11th. And then on the 13th, photosynthesis. And on the 14th, the first sea sponge.
It looks like Cookie Monster for me.
Yeah,
It does.
it does. It does. Monster. You can Google sea sponges, and I'm sure it'll pop up. It's pretty great, though. And this, you can't read it, but it says mollusks. And this is a fossil that I found when I was like 6.
No way.
And it's got a bunch of shells on it, which classify as mollusks. And yeah, we found it up at Chilco Lake in the Chilcotin, and apparently it's about 230 something million years old.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Yeah. So
another kind of personal connection to this project, like reminding you of some interests that you've had.
yeah, we found like hundreds of them on this beach. We went there when we were kids
Wow.
camping. And yeah, it's from the Cambrian age when that part of the world was underwater. So it's really cool. And then this is just a close-up of November.
Nice.
Cookie Monster again. And then December, I've got this picture. It's kind of got like everything in there. I wanted just like a
Wow.
big picture of life. And on the 1st of December, you've got the Great Oxidation Event. So I guess that's when Earth became oxidized. And this would be the first, I can't remember, but animal coming out of the water. I had a little slip for it, and I lost it in my paper. So I apologize for that.
We could call it just like a tetrapod was the general.
Mhm.
Sort of
Yeah,
group.
I think I had a different name, but like I said, I lost a little slip of paper. And then first reptiles on the 5th. And then not a lot going on. I think I might have messed up the dates. I think that's when the ice ball Earth was supposed to be. But I've got it down here on the 16th. And then the Great Dying, which is one of the extinctions. I didn't really focus on those because they were too sad. And then I've got the first dinosaur on the 13th. And then the ice ball Earth on the 16th. And then I've got the first mammal, which is a kind of shrew thingy, just a little rat.
Yeah. I drew that guy.
Yeah, I didn't. And then on the 19th, I've got the first bird. It was that, I can't pronounce it.
Archaeopteryx.
And the Archaeopteryx, thanks. And then the first land plants on the 20th, and on the 21st, the first flowers. And then the extinction of the dinosaurs down there. This is just a close-up.
Nice.
And then here, I've got the last 8 and a bit hours.
Oh, very cool.
So we've got the ape/gibbon divergence. So that would be one of the first apes. The human-chimpanzee divergence. So that's when chimpanzees evolved. And then Homo erectus. Sorry, 10:15. 8:10 p.m. So there's a big difference here. Am I still?
Yeah, you are.
Oh, okay. Couldn't hear you guys.
It's just because Sarah muted herself. You can't hear her dogs anymore.
Yeah, there's a couple going off.
That makes sense. Yeah. So this is AM and this is PM. So there's a huge difference. Like, I guess it's a huge difference time-wise
Yeah.
here. So it took a while for chimps to evolve from apes, or gibbon. And then Homo erectus at 10:48 p.m. And then the evolved humans. This is when they migrated from Africa at
Nice.
11:58. So that's
It's
when Africa
Great to include that map, yeah.
moved out. Yeah. And then the Neanderthals died out at 11:59, and this is also when I can't pronounce it either, but Olivia, the large animals. That's when all of them died out. Like there used to be massive rhinoceros and bears and stuff, huge, but I guess with the amount of people that the world couldn't sustain big life anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all been shrinking, I think, in the last few million years. And then this is the last 60 seconds.
Nice. Wow.
At 45 seconds, or 40, I'm going to say 47, the ice bridge formed, and people crossed over from Asia to the Americas. So that would be the First Nations people when they arrived. And then at about 22 and a half seconds, the first agriculture. At 16, 15 and a half, there were the first cities in Mesopotamia. At about 9 seconds was the Chinese emperor and the Chinese dynasties, when China became, I guess, large and growing. And then at 5.5, the Buddha was born, and the Roman Empire at the same time. And then at 4.5 was the birth of Christ, and a couple of seconds after that, Muhammad. And then at like 0.1, people arrived. Columbus arrived in North America.
Wow. I have to say that last page is my favorite of your
Yeah,
whole
too.
calendar there. That was really, really cool wrap up, Brent. I'm also thrilled that you added. Oh, what was that?
I wanted some details at the end.
Yeah, that was wonderful. I'm also thrilled that you added Archaeopteryx as the first bird, because one of our options for our winter lab, this will be in January, there's 2 different options. One of them is an ornithology study where you actually do a bird feeder sort of experiment, and you track all the different birds that are arriving to your bird feeder, and you study birds. So that was cool to see that you had a little mini focus on a bird for a moment, as it can delve us into some of the next topics that we're shifting into in biology.
Sweet.
Yeah, so I feel like you answered our question of sort of some of the key learnings. You kind of answered those as you went through, saying that you were surprised by certain things. Do you guys have any questions for Bryn?
Just that there's a lot of information there. It's really cool.
Very creative. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
awesome.
it was overwhelming to make.
It's a big project. You guys all have done an amazing job, and really, I like that each of yours is different. You've all kind of made it your own and unique. I didn't get bored listening to the information because you all kind of chose to focus on different aspects. And I mean, there's a lot of different things to focus on. We're talking about the evolution of Earth as we know it and life as we know it. So let's take just a moment here to, Bryn, do your self-evaluation, and everyone else could fill out that small evaluation form for Bryn.
I have a question for everybody.
Yeah, go ahead.
The like terrarium thing. Is anybody still like alive, or did they die, or like? Because I know we did it, but we never really checked back in about how they're doing.
Yay! That'll be what we do. That'll be your work for this week. It's finishing up your Calendar of Life project, getting that into Mahara, and then uploading it to Moodle. And then I'd love to receive a little update on your terrariums, because then you can actually submit those if you haven't yet.
Can I be?
Let's hear from you guys.
Because my mom needed the jar back.
Oh. So Bryn had to put it close.
And
you had an extinction.
We had too much soup, and she was like, "I need that jar."
Mass
So there's some
extinction
sort of-
because of
some sort of
need for a
mass-
soup vessel.
A greater
That's another
environmental
reason, Sarah.
support.
Come on, you know, people they just needed to like use the earth to put their soup on, and that's why
You know
there's
what?
no more
I wouldn't be
anything.
surprised. That's funny, Bryn.
Just also be careful when you open yours, because mine smelled horrible.
Yeah, it's like the soils, the soils rotting, or not rotting, but like
Something's
the water
rotting.
starts to smell.
I think there's a
Yeah.
lot of
That
rotting
was
worms in
okay.
mine. I can see rotting worms everywhere.
Mine is a death jar. So dead and sad, moldy. There's mold growing.
It's probably time for you guys to put your terrariums to rest then.
I'm still sitting here.
Mine's
I'm
alive.
I feel really great. Mine is like thriving, and it's like
Oh.
really cool.
Wow.
And I have a centipede and a worm in it. And the centipede's like the happiest centipede ever, and it like climbs all over the place. And I'm very proud of mine now.
How did you do that? My plants are alive. My
The only thing I had put
Your worms went
a
crazy and then died.
I put a native bleeding heart in mine, and the only thing that one leaf was pressed up against the glass and it rotted. But besides that, everything else is alive and really happy. But all my plants are deciduous, besides for one rhododendron that I put in, which is everything. So, yeah.
Wow.
So,
You found a good balance. Nice work.
yeah, and I put in some wheat, some creeping Charlie, which will be fun to see how that goes. But I didn't know that I put in any animals when I put it in, but then on the glass I saw a centipede and a worm like just crawling about. But
Well-
yeah, I have mine outside because all the plants that I put in are outdoor plants, so I have it outside instead of inside because it'd be too hot inside.
That actually makes sense.
Oh.
That does make sense.
My room
Well,
was
I
as
want you
cold
to-
as
I want you to
outside, so
remember-
it was.
I want you to remember that as scientists, when something goes wrong, it doesn't mean you failed or that you're gonna get a bad mark. So you guys can all just like relax your shoulders down if your terrarium is totally dead, or if you like Halima are like mourning the loss of all of your insects right now.
That.
It's so sad. I know
I was
it
so
is.
excited.
However-
Everything was working, but I just decided to
Based
die.
off of this debrief, now you have a few things to write in your conclusion for that lab report, right? Of why things might not have worked out, and maybe what you would do different in the future if you were to repeat this experiment.
Question about doing that conclusion. If we already submitted it with a conclusion after like 2 weeks, what are we
That's-
supposed to do?
That's fine. Yeah, just if you guys were holding off on submitting that one, like for the conclusion, let's get that rolling now as we bring this Calendar of Life project to an end as well. So that'll be your homework right now, is just getting this project finished, and then terrarium finished as well. Next week, we are rolling into, so we basically, it's really interesting. We're at a great place in the course, you guys. I'm really happy with our progress. December 16th, we go off on holiday for 2 weeks. So we kind of have 2 weeks right now that we're playing with. And then January is just about a month of time, and then that's it, right? So in terms of the projects in this course, I mentioned earlier that our next project is our fish dissection lab. So something quite different than the rest of the project. So that'll be really fun to be diving into different big ideas, topics, and a whole collection of different learning competencies that will arise with that. And then the last one, you have options. So there's 2 different options for it. One of them, as I mentioned, is the ornithology study. So you're actually studying birds close to your house on a bird feeder and tracking birds, learning about the different species, etc. The second study is actually a snow study. So if you're in an area where you actually are getting some snow, this will be happening more in
supposed to snow
January.
on Monday in Vancouver.
I heard that, and it's same
Nice.
for
Well,
Hornby.
that's-
Would be nice.
I'm praying it will.
That's why I put 2 labs in there as options, because I know some of you live in places where there's not a huge amount of snowfall. So then you'll be doing the bird study for that. So it's your choice. So keep that on the back of your mind. And next week we'll actually dive into some more details of what our next project is going to look like. So nothing new for you guys today, okay? It's already 3:30. You did awesome on your presentations. The last piece, though, is just to make sure that you share the evaluations that we've covered today, both the self and the peer assessment. Make sure you share that document with me so that I can go through and start to track all of that for myself, okay?
Cool.
Cool. It was fun to see what you all came up with. Thank you so much for sharing. Any final parting thoughts?
I wish I did a 2017 calendar. I could have used it.
Oh.
Oh, that is a good parting thought.
See, I went back because I wanted it to January 1st to be a Monday, so I went back and I found a calendar from 2007 where January 1st starts on a Monday. So mine's like really old.
I don't
That's
have date. I don't have days on my calendar. It's just the date. Like it's just numbers, not.
Okay, you guys, you can stay in this room as long as you'd like. I am going to head out, and next week we're back to our regular meeting time, okay? Does that work for you guys? Wednesday, 2 o'clock?
Yep.
I have a question, Sarah. I've submitted the terrarium one, and I'm wondering if you can see it or not. Can you? Like, if you can see that I've submitted it.
I will check that, and I'll respond back to you in the chat box in just a minute.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're so welcome. All right, we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.